Hello and welcome to our podcast What's in this week's Oban Times, or as we like to call it, Wit What, with me Jodie Hagan.
Me Kathy Griffiths.
Me Sandy Neal.
And me Owen Wild.
Well, it has been an unusually sunny and warm week here in Oban, but we are definitely not complaining. We have the windows open in the office to try to cool down, but we hope that you listeners are sitting back in the garden with a glass of lemonade, ready to hear what interesting stories we have for you in this week's paper. You can read all the articles and lots more online by going to www.westcoasttoday.co.uk or by picking up a printed copy. We always love hearing your stories and seeing your photographs, so keep getting in touch by emailing editor@obantimes.co.uk, calling us on 01631 568 000, or getting in touch on our social platforms including Facebook and X, formerly Twitter. Now, Kathy, over to you with our biggest story of the week. What do you have for us?
Well, big news for tiny island Luing. Plans to reopen a historic quarry after a 60-year gap have secured £2 million funding. For starters, thanks to £1.8 million funding coming from the Scottish Government and a further £250,000 from Highlands and Islands Enterprise, Phase 1 of the ambitious project is due to start this week, although another £1 million will still be needed for Phase 2. Although the reactivated slate production will be smaller scale this time round, it's still a mammoth part of Luing's regeneration blueprint to deliver a thriving and sustainable future. So congratulations to everyone involved in that. And this week, we bring you the remarkable story of a Lismore woman who signed the Top Secrets Act at the age of just 17 and whose role in liberating France in World War II still remained a mystery with her family, whose only clue that she had a cloak and dagger involvement with the French resistance was when a letter arrived after her funeral earlier this year from the French embassy awarding her the prestigious Légion d'honneur. Oh gosh, that's France's top award that it can actually present to veterans. So you can read all about the amazing Valerie Livingstone in this week's paper and online. We've also got reports on the area's VE Day celebrations marking its 80th anniversary, with photos from the Oban and Easdale parades.
Well, exciting news for Luing there, and wow, what an amazing woman Valerie was. Thanks for that, Kathy. Now, Sandy, it's your time to shine now.
Well, thank you very much, Jodie. Well, to start with, we'll start with council news, and I'm afraid difficult decisions lie ahead for health and social care services in Argyll and Bute, councillors warn. A £4.2 million gap in health services remains to be plugged, while £500,000 worth of social work savings have also yet to be identified. Watch this space. Crime now and threatening and abusive behaviour in parts of Argyll and Bute has almost trebled in the past year. Police have revealed a 176% increase in such incidents in Mid-Argyll, Kintyre and the Islands, and Oban Lawn and the Isles. Ferry news, and the Scottish Government has announced it will directly award the next Clyde and Hebrides ferry services contract to Calmac Ferries Limited. And on our website, westcoasttoday.co.uk, you can read about Calmac's longed-for second new Arran ferry. The MV Glenrosa will be delayed by up to 9 months, and the cost has risen by £35 million. And finally from me, a £500,000 grant has turned the dream of a new mobile cinema into reality. The funding, worth £500,000 from the Scottish Government, will buy a new screen machine to take films to 44 locations in remote areas, including the Highlands and Islands.
Well, thanks for that, Sandy. And Owen, what have you been looking into this week?
Well, Jodie, scouts in Oban and North Connell are looking for more volunteers, with shortages threatening their ability to operate. With weather like this, they're wanting to do more outdoor activities, but more adults will be needed to supervise the children. Mull Pottery in Tobermory has reopened, with the studio under the stewardship of the late founder's children. Read the paper for a full interview with one of those children who is continuing the family legacy. And also on Mull, Nonabel Park on the outskirts of Tobermory is set to expand, with the introduction of more storage units.
Thanks, Owen. Finally, from me to round things off, hundreds of boat enthusiasts recently travelled from all over the UK and Ireland to the west coast of Scotland for the annual Easdale Rib Rendezvous. Around 300 participants were involved in this year's event, which is now believed to be the largest gathering of ribs in Europe. Read more about that in this week's Oban Times and online. And an Oban man is trying to relaunch a volunteer flood resilience group, which he says recently disbanded due to a lack of support and interest. Find out how you could help with that in the paper this week. That's all from us this time, but there is plenty more to discover in the paper and online at www.westcoasttoday.co.uk. Tune in again next week to keep up to date with what is happening. Goodbye from me, Jodie Hagan.
Goodbye from me, Kathy Griffiths.
Goodbye from me, Sandy Neal.
And goodbye from me, Owen Wild.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, hey.